Hey, it's Kanaya, and I am super excited to be here today and talk a little bit about this journey that I'm undertaking. It has been an interesting year for me so far, and I can look back and see it kind of kicked off around my birthday. But the 6 month point, the halfway point in my personal year, so I track my life, through my birthday. My birthday's in March, so we are here in September. And I spent my birthday this year on an international adventure. I was in India. And on my actual birthday, I was traveling to Rishikesh, which is known as the world capital of yoga. And I am a certified Basu, which is an instructor in Egyptian yoga. And I've been a yoga practitioner, a yogini, since the age of 19. So it's been over 20 years since I have been practicing yoga. Man, and it was such a powerful experience. But what was really there for me around that particular trip and what I got was the extent of the influence of ancient African civilizations. We always think of yoga being from India. And as I learned about and became trained in Egyptian yoga, I got that it found its origins in ancient Africa, as so many other things do. But that was one of the ones that kind of surprised me when I found out about it. And then when I got there, the reaction I was getting, so because I have locks, and one of the many people who we encountered was actually in Agra, visiting the Taj Mahal at the time. I was in a jewelry shop. But one of the jeweler, he started talking to me about Rishikesh and my locks and how they're holy people. They lock their hair as a sign of their spiritual path. And then when I was in Rishikesh and I was wearing my locks up in the top knot like I often do because it was very warm there, so I didn't want it on my neck. And people being like, how'd you get your hair like that? And I'm like, what is going on with this hair? But found out again that not only do the holy people have locks, but they wear them like this. And then as I did a little more research into Shiva and Shakti, two of their prominent deities, who are often portrayed as blue, they actually find their origins in ancient Africa. Dark, dark, dark people, like almost blue-black. Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's so interesting. And that culture is one that, even though it also had been colonized and in many ways, we'll just say it's been impacted by the European influence, they also have retained a lot of their ancient culture. And it got me in this conversation about knowing who you are, where you come from, and how that colors how you view your world, how you view yourself. And I got that for me, that was a missing. And it was present to the impact of being separated from my heritage prior to being here in the United States. It has. And luckily, like, I have options. And now, thanks to technology, I can find out a little bit more about where I come from. And then I can actually investigate and learn more about those cultures, thereby learning more about myself from an ancestral point of view. Because one of the other things that I do and I'm doing is I'm looking at healing emotional trauma. And for people of color, indigenous peoples, melanated people, and women, but really for everyone, there's something called transgenerational or intergenerational trauma. And so for you to heal that, sometimes it helps to know from whence I came. And we come from powerful people. And for myself here, yes, I'm thinking, I've always heard that I have Native American in my family on both sides. And so I've always been interested if that's the case. I would love to find out more about those tribes, their cultures, particularly in the world of healing and shamanism and medicine womanism. I am a healer. And I'm drawn to certain things, operating from spirit, but man, to be able to actively go and study and learn, I'm excited. This summer I made my way to Arizona, where I experienced these vortexes right outside of Sedona. And the trip was for one of my friend's 40th birthday, and I was there, A, to celebrate, but B, to facilitate some womb healing work. I do goddess steams, or yoni steams, or vaginal steams, or whatever you may have heard it, ancient practice. That, particularly in the chocolate, which is my term for black people, community, many women don't know about. And it was something that was lost on our journey here. And it's something that we are now reclaiming as we also start to reclaim who we are, our power, our health and well-being, both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all of that. So yeah, I'm going to learn more about my individual culture. So I got my ancestry kit in the mail. I sent off for it. And yeah, I'm going to do my genetic mapping from DNA. I had a little bit of nervousness around it, learning about how that information could be used. And Spirit was just like, I haven't given you a spirit of fear. This is something that's important, excuse me, for me to know in my development, in my personal growth and development. So yeah, get my ancestry on. Now this is all part of a bigger picture. So I've got a big announcement coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm working out some of the kinks, but this journey into my ancestry and finding out more about it is linked to it. It is a huge announcement. So stay tuned for updates. I think it takes a couple of weeks for this to come back. So I'm going to do the swab, the sample. I'm going to send it off, and more coming soon. The journey into self, into knowing really who you are, where you come from, and how that can impact the role you play on earth, man, it's powerful. And as a coach, consultant, advisor in the beauty and the spiritual and the world of wellness, it makes a difference. So if you've been interested in something like that for yourself, consider checking it out. Journeying into yourself, finding out who you are, where you come from, can also help you take on where you're going next. And where I'm going next, y'all. Amazing. Amazing. Until then.